Hello, I'm Richard Cohen. Welcome back to episode 3 of Meditation for Beginners. Today's episode is about mindfulness and mindful meditation. You may have noticed that there's already a difference in today's episode from the last two that you've hopefully watched. And that is that this time I'm blurring out the background. I wonder if you watched the last two episodes, as you think back on your experience of them, did you ever notice your mind wandering? And rather than focusing on me and my voice and what I'm trying to teach you, the content of the video, if you were busy looking around at my background and seeing what was going on in my room, I will admit to you that I am the worst at that in Zoom meetings and these other online things we've been doing for this last year or so of the pandemic. I'd much rather look around and peek at somebody's, what are the books on their shelves? What family photos are there? What's hanging on their walls? What does it say about them? I get very easily distracted, even with decades of practicing mindfulness and meditation. I'm the first one to be so nosy and be looking at someone's room instead of paying attention to them. So perhaps you do it too. Doesn't make either of us bad or wrong. It's just part of the human condition. And it's very much part of the human mind in the contemporary world we live in and the Western world that many of us live in. It's hard to focus. Our minds are easily distracted. So I blurred out the background today to just give you an experience of what that's like so that you can compare it to maybe your experience of the last two episodes and notice just for yourself how easy it is to let your mind wander and get distracted. Again, it's not bad, but it is sort of the opposite of mindfulness, which is about staying present. So with that in mind, we're going to dive into a PowerPoint set of slides that I'm going to show you that comes from a much larger professional development workshop or session that I do with early childhood educators around the world. Sometimes I have a half-day version, a full-day version, a two-day version, and each one goes into much greater depth about mindfulness and medication. And in my context, it's related to people who professionally work with young children. So, but this is a much shorter version, so we'll go through it pretty quickly. I'm going to share my screen now. There we go. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. While mindfulness is something we all naturally possess, it's more readily available to us when we practice it on a daily basis. Whenever you bring awareness to what you are directly experiencing via your senses, or to your state of mind via your thoughts and emotions, you're being mindful. And there's growing research showing that when you train your brain to be more mindful, you're actually remodeling the physical structure of your brain. So the goal of mindfulness is to wake up to the inner workings of our mental, emotional, and physical processes that are always going on within us, but that we rarely step outside of and pay attention to. We often let them lead us and direct how we are in the world, as if those thoughts, feelings, and emotions are real. But when you're able to step outside of them and notice them for what they are, you have the opportunity to make a different choice. So, a few things to know about mindfulness. Mindfulness is not obscure or exotic. It's not a special added thing that we do. You don't need to change who you are in the world. Mindfulness has the potential to become a transformative social phenomenon. Here's why. Anyone can do it. It's a way of living. Mindfulness isn't just something you do in this video you're watching. It's a whole way of life, of how one lives one's life. It's evidence-based. There's research that shows what happens in human brains when we practice mindfulness. And it also sparks innovation and creativity and whole new ways of looking at things. So We're talking about another way of thinking about it is to think about metacognition. Cognition is thinking, right? Metacognition is thinking about your thinking. It's being able to step outside of your thinking and notice it from the perspective of a compassionate observer. So David Cohen said in 2008, and if you look down at my year down there, I notice that it says 20,008. Okay, I'll have to correct that. But here's the idea. You are not your mind. The first time I heard somebody say that, I didn't like the sound of it one bit. What else could I be? I had taken for granted that the mental chatter in my head was the central me that all the experiences in my life were happening to. I see quite clearly now that life is nothing more but passing experiences, and my thoughts are just one more category of things I experience. Thoughts are no more fundamental than smells, sights, and sounds. Like any experience, they arise in my awareness. They have a certain texture, and then they give way to something else. Here's the big question. If you can observe your thoughts, just like you can observe other objects, who's doing the observing? If you can observe your thoughts, if you are not your thoughts or your feelings, and you can step outside and observe them, who's doing the observing? It's something for you to ponder. I have my answer to that question, but I'll leave you with the question. So here's a few sort of memes to drive the point home. You don't see things as they are, you see things as you are. That's from the Talmud, the ancient book of Hebrew or Jewish wisdom. You don't see that tree or that person on the table as they are. You see things as you are. You look at that tree and that person sitting on the table through your own life experiences that have brought you to this moment. And then you interpret what you see in this picture as a tree and a person sitting on a table. It's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. If you continue to act as you have always acted, you will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind. Sounds simple, but it takes some practice and some skills. You don't alter what you know in the end, you alter the way you know it, by a very famous expert that I respect. His name is Werner Erhard. So again, it's more reason to really think about, am I my thoughts and feelings? And if not, who's doing them? And if I can change them, how will they change the way I act in the world and what I get out of my life? It starts with your thoughts. And mindfulness and metacognition would say that it starts with being able to step outside your thoughts and feelings and notice them as something separate from you, their own, like a smell, like a sound. They're just something that happens, and you can decide whether or not they're going to inform what you do next or not. Eckhart Tolle, another amazing spiritual warrior, said, "Be the silent watcher of your thoughts and behavior. You are beneath the thinker. You are the stillness beneath the mental noise. You are the love and joy beneath the pain." Right? Many of us are in pain and we think we are that pain. But if you can come to realize that even that pain is not real, it's just something you're experiencing, and you understand that who you are at your core is love and joy, you may experience that pain in a very different way. If you change your relationship with your thoughts, you change your whole life. Change your thoughts and you change your world. The mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. How much thought have you given to your own mind and its power over you, over the people you love, over the world around you? Your mind is something that it is a superb instrument, like a piano or a harp or a violin. If you know how to play the piano, you can make beautiful music. Same piano, but if you don't know how to play, it does not come out like music. It comes out pretty awful. That's our minds. It's just an instrument. Once we understand that that's what it is, we can step outside of our thoughts and feelings and be better skilled at using our minds. And we do that. One of the ways you can access that is through mindfulness. So mindfulness helps us put some space between ourselves and our reactions, breaking down our conditioned responses. Here's how to tune into mindfulness throughout the day. Set aside some time. Observe the present moment as it is. Let your judgments roll by with compassion, I would add. When you notice yourself having thoughts of judgment, don't judge yourself and get mad at yourself. Be compassionate toward yourself. Understand that it's just a function of being human and that those judgments aren't you. They're just something that happens in your head and you can let them roll by. And then return to observing the present moment as it is. And around that compassion piece, be kind to your wandering mind. That's it. That's the practice. It's often been said that it's very simple, but it's not necessarily easy. The work is to just keep doing it. Results will accrue over time. So that's how to be mindful throughout your days. Mindfulness is also a type of meditation, a specific type of meditation that we're going to try out right now. So each of these episodes is designed to present you with different types and techniques and strategies for meditation. Today is a whole new one that we haven't talked about in the last two. And over the course of these four, perhaps some of them will resonate for you more than others. But the concept of this series is to just introduce you to a variety of different ideas. And you can continue on with whichever ones resonate for you and let go of the ones that don't. And research further the ones that intrigue you. So today we're talking about mindfulness. So, sorry, I'm looking at my notes over here. So we're going to start our meditation now in just a moment. And this is a mindful meditation. In episode 1, we just focused on breathing naturally, breathing in and breathing out, right? In episode 2, I sort of took control and did guided imagery and walked you through a story. But at this time, we're going to do some meditation, but the goal is to always be aware that you are doing meditation. That's the metacognitive part. So we'll do meditation, but at the same time, there'll be a part of ourselves that steps outside and watches us doing that meditation. So you'll start to gain access, hopefully, to the answer to that question I posed, or David Kane posed earlier, which is if you can step outside as an observer of your thoughts and feelings, who is that observer? So we'll give you an opportunity to perhaps become that sort of external observer through this meditation. All right. So I'm just looking at my notes again. Okay. So in that first episode, we just had you breathe naturally. One of the things I could also have mentioned in that episode, if you had wanted to take it a next step further, is that while you were breathing naturally, you could be thinking in your head, as you're breathing in, I am breathing in. And then as you're breathing out, you could think, I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. And you're thinking about that while you're doing that action. But in a mindful or metacognitive meditation, you take it one step further. You don't just think, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. You think, and this little detail that I'm going to share with you is really critical. It's really key for this particular goal. You change your thought that you're having in your head to, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Now, going back to that first episode, you could do the 4-4-4 rhythm. You could do the 4-1-4-1 rhythm. But while you're doing it, you're having this thought, I know or maybe I notice that I'm breathing in, I know, or I notice that I'm breathing out. So you become that person who's not breathing in and out. You become that person, that observer who is aware, knows, or notices that you're breathing in and out. That's what makes it not just cognitive, but metacognitive. It's what allows you to practice being mindful and being present. And so what will happen out of you being human and having a human mind is, once again, your mind will drift and into the past, into the future, into what's happening in the next room, whatever it is. And the goal is for you to have compassion for yourself and to just notice when your mind wanders and, oh yeah, hi thought, I see you there, hi feeling, but I'm going to come back to my present task, which is breathing in and breathing out. And while I'm doing it, noticing I'm breathing in and breathing out. So as you drift away, and you probably will, when you realize it, bring yourself back. Just keep bringing yourself back to the present moment and the task at hand, with a great deal of compassion for yourself while you do it. So I'm going to set my timer here. There we go. Okay. So you may get yourself comfortable. You can sit in a chair, you can lay on the ground, a couch, your bed, however you want to do it. There's nothing happening that will be visually interesting. So you're welcome to turn off the screen or just listen to the audio. You can look at me if you want, but I'm pretty boring. So however works best for you, that's how you can participate in this meditation. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, as I always do. You're welcome to close your eyes all the way. Relax your eyelids to whatever state works for you, or keep them wide open. Trust your instincts, your intuition, and your body, and follow it. Okay, so here we go. Please close your eyes. Take a moment to just breathe in and breathe out in a normal way. See if you can slow down your breathing. If it helps you to become more intentional and present, you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. The breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth has a variety of functions, but for the purpose of mindfulness, much like I know I'm breathing in and I know I'm breathing out, both of these ideas interrupt our tendencies to get lost in our thoughts and our feelings, and to misidentify ourselves as those thoughts and feelings. Breaking that, interrupting that, is why you might want to choose a different way of breathing, like in through your nose and out through your mouth, or by thinking to yourself, I know I'm breathing in, I know I'm breathing out. So go ahead and let your mind do what it wants to do, or make some choices to choose how you want to continue your breathing. And as we go through this, of course, you can experiment with different methods you've learned through these episodes and choose the ones that you find most helpful for you. I'd like you to notice the sounds that are around you. What do you hear in the room you're in right now? Notice the smells. Are there any smells where you are right now? If your eyes are open, it's okay to look around and just take stock of what your eyes are seeing. If your eyes are closed, that's fine. Skip that step. What about the sense of taste? Is there anything left over in your mouth from lunch or toothpaste from the morning, or coffee? Or what about just paying attention to your sense of taste? And now touch. Feel whatever clothes you're wearing and whatever points they touch your skin. Notice the fabrics and how they feel against your skin. Notice the pressure of your body against your chair, the couch, the bed, the floor. If you're on a chair, feel the back of the chair, if your chair has one. Feel the way the chair presses, if you're wearing clothes. Feel the way the chair presses the fabric that presses against your skin. If you're sitting on a chair, feel the weight of gravity of your body pressing downward into the fabric and into the chair. And keep on going down to your feet and down through your flooring, your carpet or your rug, your hardwood floor, the grass, whatever is beneath you. Go down. Maybe there's a basement beneath you. In your imagination, go down past that, deep into the earth, and let your spirit connect with the earth itself. This is literally called grounding. Help yourself to feel grounded. It will help you to feel safe and secure as you try to practice some new skills. Anytime we practice new skills, they can make us tense or stressed or nervous. If you're an early childhood educator, I would just point out to you that little people who are new to this planet and have only been on the planet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years are continually practicing new skills. And so really embracing this idea of understanding the tension that it feels to try something new and step outside of your comfort zone, and how it feels to ground yourself, to protect or to force against that, can be helpful, and can even be helpful for little children who are constantly being asked to step outside of their comfort zone or who they know themselves to be at that little early starting point in their lives. So feel the ground beneath you. Feel your body in this present moment using all 5 of your senses. Instead of relaxing into an escape type of meditation, try to put yourself in a state of heightened awareness, sort of the opposite, noticing the sounds, the smells, the tastes, the nerve endings throughout your body and what they're touching, possibly what you're seeing. Keep breathing in and out, and practice saying to yourself, I know I'm breathing in as you breathe in, and I know I'm breathing out as I breathe out. Try, I notice I'm breathing in, and as you breathe out, I notice I'm breathing out. Now let's spend a few minutes just practicing that. As your mind tends to wander away from the practice, remember to notice it with compassion. Perhaps you're the type of person that judges herself or himself. Oh, I'm not doing this right. Let go of that. Perhaps you're a person who's so attached to your successes, that you're actually busy thinking, "Ah, I'm doing great at this. I am awesome," rather than actually focusing on the practice. Either way, whether your mind tends toward the negative or tends toward the positive, just notice it. Have compassion for the parts of yourself that need to do that, and bring yourself back to the practice of focusing on your breath and stepping outside of your meditative self to really notice your breathing, notice your thoughts, notice your feelings, notice your breathing. Now, in just a moment, it's going to be time to bring yourself back to your real life. I'll help you back right now. So feel that sensation, that feeling of your spirit connected all the way deep into the ground, all the way to the center of the earth, that connection you have to this earth. And now begin to bring your attention back and back, up through the ground, up through the floorboards, up through the rug, if there is one, perhaps through the seat of the chair you're sitting on, or the couch or the bed, and back into your own body in this time and this space. Notice the sounds and smells and sights around you. Feel the pressure of your body against the chair. Begin to wiggle your fingers. Begin to wiggle your toes, wake them up. Expand that to maybe wiggling your whole legs and your arms. Wiggle them, move them, your shoulders. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. Give yourself a mental pat on the back. You survived it. Perhaps you even found it valuable. The great thing is you can rewatch this video whenever you want. You can go off and now practice this on your own. But if you ever feel you want some more grounding or to come back to some of the original ideas, these videos will be here for you. But I invite and encourage you to continue making meditation a regular practice, not just in times of stress, but in a daily way. So I hope you found today's episode valuable, and we'll see you next time.